Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much for joining me. If you're new here, my name is Holly. I make food and fitness content, and if you're not new here, welcome back to the channel. I hope we have all had a really good Sunday. Guys, I can't even keep it in. Like, I literally feel like I'm beaming. I literally cannot stop smiling. I have smiled, I have cried, I felt nervous, I felt excited, I felt overwhelmed. Like, this is just mega. So the running announcement that I wanted to make, and I'm sure you can tell from the title of the video, is that in November, I am going to be running the New York City Marathon. Like, I am actually welling up even thinking about it. Like, I just can't comprehend it. I'm just so excited. So Strava, the running app that I have used religiously throughout my running journey, popped me a lovely little email last week, not only inviting me on a trip to New York, but offering me a place in the New York Marathon. And if anybody knows anything about the New York Marathon, it is very, very, very hard / near impossible to qualify. In order to get into it, you have to run a qualifying marathon, you have to hit a certain time. The time for my age range is very competitive. It would mean that I would have to run a lot quicker than I currently do. And I actually looked at this marathon earlier in the year, and I was like, that would be a dream, but I'm never gonna qualify. So it just kind of like let it go. And then Strava came to the rescue, and I literally just cannot believe it. Like, this feels like such a pinch me moment, and this is honestly the most incredible opportunity. And I am just so grateful to Strava, and I don't even think they realize like how much this like means to me, because you guys know how much I love running, I love challenging myself with running, and to be able to do this is just mind-blowing, and to be able to take you all on this journey with me, because it is going to be a bit of a crazy journey, guys. We've got 10 weeks to train for my next marathon. It still doesn't feel real, and I don't know at what point it's gonna sink in. I have also literally listened to New York by Alicia Keys about 1,000 times since they sent that email. I actually wanna add that when I initially got this invitation, as incredibly exciting as it was, I cannot even tell you how much self-doubt and self-disbelief flooded into my mind, to the point where I actually called my mum and I was like, listen to this opportunity I've been given. We were both so excited, and then I was like, I don't think I'm gonna accept it though. It's an incredible opportunity and I'm really grateful, but I don't feel like I'll have enough time to train. I don't feel like I'll be quick enough. I don't feel like I'll feel in a good enough place to run the marathon. I don't feel like I'll feel good enough to even be there with Strava. All of this self-doubt was literally flooding my mind. And I hung up the phone with my mum, and I was gonna go back to them and be like, thank you for the opportunity, but I don't really think it's right for me at the moment. And then I just had this moment where I thought, what the f are you doing? You have just been offered the opportunity of a lifetime to enter a race that you probably wouldn't qualify for anyway, Holly, and run it in your dream city. I've never been to New York. It's been my dream destination for the longest amount of time, and I've always wanted to save it for something really special. And my birthday's in December, so I've always thought I'd love to go on my birthday, but this is 10 times more special. So I just thought, you've been offered a trip to your dream destination to run a dream race. Like, who cares? Even if you walk across that finish line, this will be the most unforgettable experience with the most amazing company and the most amazing team with you. How on earth could you possibly turn this down? And I gave myself a huge kick, a huge pep talk. I called my dad, who's literally like my running guru at this point, and he was like, you can definitely do it, you can definitely train. Like, where I'm up to at the moment with my training, I'm definitely in a position where I can now train in 10 weeks for a marathon. So yeah, I gave myself a bit of a kick. And guys, we are officially entered, and we have officially been given a place to run the New York Marathon on the 5th of November. So I wanted to basically kind of chat to you guys. I thought this was like a really lovely opportunity to talk about kind of what I learned from my previous marathon, what I'm going to be doing for this marathon, and I'm also going to be taking on my first long run of this training block, which is a 24-kilometer run at the end of this video. We all know that I love a bit of reflection, so I thought I'd start by kind of like reflecting on the Paris Marathon and like why this one is going to be different, and what I learned from my first ever marathon and how I can take that into the second one. So the first big thing that is going to be completely different is that I'm actually going to be training in England for this one. If you guys followed along my marathon journey earlier in the year, I trained in LA for probably 80% of that marathon. That was a hotter climate. I was super busy all the time because I was trying to explore a new city, I was trying to meet new people, but I was also trying to train for a marathon. So I was literally waking up doing 30Ks and then going and walking around LA and going like sightseeing and trying to meet people. And honestly, it was a very tiring experience. I just remember feeling feeling absolutely shattered 99% of the time I was in LA because I was doing so much. So I'm going to be training for this marathon in England at home, and I also think this is going to be a really nice experience and journey for us because I can give you guys a lot more relatable marathon content in terms of what I eat in a day, because my eating in America was a bit all over the place. I was going out for food all the time, I was trying new foods, but with this I can be a lot more structured. I can show you guys more of a routine, how I'm implementing marathon training into my routine and my gym routine, and also what I'm eating to support my marathon training. And I'm actually really excited to have this journey in England and be doing my runs kind of in places that I know and just feeling in a lot more of a routine with my training. I also think this is going to be different because I have experience with a marathon and a marathon training blog, so I'm a lot more knowledgeable as to what I'm getting myself in for. I actually did go through and write a list of things that I learned from the first marathon that I wanted to share with you guys, and hopefully if you guys are going to be training for a marathon this year or next year, you can take things that I learned and also apply them like I'm going to be doing. The first giant thing that I learned was that the marathon itself is actually the reward. That day and that race is actually the easiest part of your training block. Your training will be difficult. And I didn't really know this. I thought that the marathon itself would be a challenge, but you've got this giant training block to tackle to prepare you for that day. So when it gets to the marathon, you've done all of the training. All you need to do is show up and run the race, and it just is the best day ever. You will be filled with so much adrenaline, so many endorphins, that it is gonna feel just like such an exciting day. The training, when you're waking up and you feel like you don't wanna run, but you have to go on a 3-hour run, when you're dragging yourself out on a run, when it's raining or when it's cold, that is the hard bit. The marathon is the nice bit of it, which is a really bizarre concept, but I'm sure if you run a marathon, you'll completely understand what I'm trying to say. The next thing is fuel. Fuel, fuel, fuel. I talk about this all the time, but I cannot reiterate it more. You need to be fueling your body a lot. If you are running for hours, if you are running 3 times a week, 4 times a week, 2 times a week, your body needs energy in order to do that. And this for me is specifically referring to fueling before runs. I think with a lot of my runs, when I was training earlier in the year, I wouldn't eat enough before the run, and there is nothing worse than getting halfway through a run and just suddenly realizing that you are so depleted to the point where you cannot carry on. It's really frustrating because you get halfway through and you think, why didn't I just fuel myself more? Because I've got halfway through this run and now I don't feel like I can do it. And I don't feel like I've given myself the tools to finish the run. And all I needed to do was just shove some more shreddies in my mouth before I put my trainers on and got out the door. And it's super frustrating, but sometimes you wake up and you just think like, oh, like I'm just not that hungry, but your body needs that energy source. You need to be fueling yourself, especially before your runs. I now eat a big bowl of oats about an hour before I run. That really helps me and it does normally get me through. So I will be doing that religiously throughout this training. And then the next one, and this is something that I am not looking forward to, but I also am because I know about it now, and that is at the end of the training block, the final 3 weeks leading up to the marathon are gonna be tough. They are really, really hard 3 weeks. I really struggled. I just feel like you get to this point where you feel like you've been training forever. I did a 16-week training block at the beginning of the year, so I don't know whether it would be different because my training block's shorter now. But by the end of that 16 weeks, I was like, how on earth have I not run the marathon yet? Like, how have I still got 3 weeks to go? I don't understand, like, how I'm still training. Maybe that's just me being an impatient person and I just needed to, like, dig a bit deeper at that time and just kind of realize that, like, I wasn't quite ready. But yeah, those 3 weeks were really tough. However, now I know in my head for this training block, I'm just gonna schedule out 3 weeks prior to the marathon. I'm not gonna make many plans. I'm not gonna burn myself out. I'm gonna keep myself super well rested. I'm gonna really look after myself, focus on my recovery, and just really focus on digging deep on those runs, but being aware that if it feels hard, it's meant to feel hard. If it was easy, everybody would do it. The final one is preparation, and this was something again that I struggled with just because of where I was in the world and what I was doing. My routine wasn't very like set in stone when I was in LA, but here I have the ability to prep. And prep is so important. Scheduling out your week ahead to fit in these super long runs and to fit in this tempo training and your gym workouts is really important when you have a really high volume of training. Otherwise, you're just gonna leave it to chance and you're more than likely gonna end up missing sessions. And that is not okay when you're training for a marathon. You need to be ticking off every single session, not even for your physical and like endurance progress. That massively will impact it, but more for the mental progress, because when you step on that line line to start that marathon, you want to feel confident in the fact that you have ticked off every single session to the best of your ability, and you have so much confidence within yourself and within your ability when you start running that race. You don't want to hit that start line and be like, God, I've actually not done 3 of my really long runs that I needed to do, so when my leg's even gonna have the endurance. You need to be on that start line, you need to be like, this is gonna be a piece of piss. Because I actually did a 34-kilometer run, I've done a 30-kilometer run, and I know I can do this, and I have the endurance in my legs, and I know I have the physical strength, and I know I have the mental strength, and I'm actually gonna smash it. That is how you need to be feeling on that start line, and that is exactly how I felt when I started the Paris Marathon. I stood on that start line and I thought, I can do this. Like, I'm not even nervous about crossing the finish line. Like, I know I'm gonna cross the finish line. It's just a matter of like getting there now. My legs just carrying me there, but I knew I was always gonna be able to do it because I was so confident and proud of the training that I ticked off. And I just know even more so now, because I'm in a better situation where I can better prep myself and I can better prepare myself. I know I'm gonna have that when I step on the start line of the New York Marathon. I still can't believe I get to say that, the New York Marathon. Those are the main kind of learning points that I'm gonna be taking heading into this training block, which literally started this week. As you are watching this video, we have 10 weeks. In 10 weeks, on November the 5th, my little leggies are gonna be in New York, and we're gonna be stepping on the start line to run the New York Marathon. I loved like sharing the journey with you guys early in the year, and now we get to do it all over again, and we can see all the highs, all the lows. Hopefully there is minimal lows, but I'm sure that there will be the odd day or two where I'm absolutely cursing myself for agreeing to this. I'm gonna sign off on this section of the video, and I'll be joining you guys for my 24-kilometer run. Good morning, guys. Let's fucking go. My oats. So I've got 50 grams of oats. I mixed them with water because I've been away and my milk was off, and I was like, can I risk it? It smelled so funky, so I didn't. So I just mixed them with water. 10 grams of chocolate brownie protein powder for my protein, 15 grams of crunchy Biscoff, 2 strawberries. I'm gonna have this. We're also gonna be taking on some hydration, and we're gonna let that sit and settle for an hour. I used to eat and run within like 20 minutes, half an hour, and I used to get stitches all the time, and I didn't know why. That is why I didn't leave my food long enough to go down. So 40 minutes to an hour is ideal for me personally. That's when I feel like I can go and run. I ate this meal, but a tiny bit smaller last week for my 18 kilometers. So if I have the same kind of run this week as I had last week, then I'm gonna be one very happy girl. Pre-run excitement slash like nerve slash like dauntingness of like the whole distance. I just keep thinking to myself like, this is a long way, and it's looking a little bit grey. It's like grey there, sunny there, so I hope it stays sunny for the run. But I've packed up my vest. I'm gonna run you through everything I've got in here for a long run. I've got 1 whole bottle of water, so I'm gonna have plenty of hydration on the run. I would usually take squash, but I've run out of squash. I just prefer the taste of it. I've got 2 of the My Protein energy gels. I love these. I've also got my inhaler alongside me, and I've got my keys, and I'm gonna put my phone in here, and that is gonna be me good to go. I'm gonna go and have one last wee because we're gonna be running for like over 2 hours, maybe over 2.5 hours, depending on like my pace. It's slow, steady pace. I'm not gonna be pushing for any fast paces. I just wanna get the distance done. That is the main priority here. So the distance is the goal. I don't really care about my pace or my time. I'm just gonna go with how I feel, take it nice and easy, try not to exhaust myself too much because like I said, we've got a whole lot of distance to tick off. But very excited about this one. I'll keep you guys updated on the way, of course. I'm gonna do a quick little warm up, just a bit of like jumping around, a little bit of lunges, and yeah, I'll speak to you guys on the run. So we are nearly 4 kilometers in, feeling really, really good. The sun is shining, honestly. I just have such a good feeling about this run, and I still have like 20 more kilometers to go, so I don't know whether I'm going to be feeling this way in a little bit, but the tunes are playing. I was like having a little dance while I was running, because running really isn't that serious. And I literally was just like singing along to my songs, having a little dance, and yeah, I thought I'd do a little check-in now, probably give it like another 4 or 5 kilometers. You know it's a long run when you're combining 2 of your longest running routes. This is actually the longest run I've ever done in Manchester, so I've had to be a bit creative with where I'm running today. Ew, why? So gross when people do that. So I've had to combine 2 of my like longest running routes today. So yeah, I've had to get a bit creative with it, but I'm excited because I've never run this route, so it changes it up a little bit. Right guys, we're coming up to 9k now. Still feeling really good. I feel like my pace is really good. I'm sitting around a 6 minute per kilometer pace, which feels good for me at the moment. We're not quite halfway, so I don't want to like say I feel really good and then kind of hit the halfway like doom point, but so far so good. I think I'm gonna have my gel at around 10k just to keep me going. Right, so we just hit 10k, so gonna have my first gel. I think I'm gonna have about half of it, pace it out over like 4 or 5 kilometers, just finishing the whole thing like when I feel like I need it. And just like that, we've hit halfway. So I've had half a gel, lots of water. We're at 12 kilometers. Definitely starting to feel it a little bit in my legs now, but we are halfway. So this is just all about mentality. I'm really trying to keep positive, keep myself going. Like there's definitely going to be some bits here where I need to dig deep, and it's not going to be smiles the whole way around. I know that, but just trying to keep a positive attitude. Do you ever have it when you're running and you're literally like, what am I doing? Like, why on earth have I signed up to do another marathon? Like, am I okay? I think I literally heard the words New York and was like, oh my god, yeah, completely forgot that I'm actually gonna have to run a marathon. Fuck. Oh my god. Oh, I feel like the realization has just hit me. Right guys, we've hit 16k. I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling pretty tired right now. Like my legs, just feeling a bit achy. It's weird because mentally I'm fine. It's just in my legs a little bit, but just gonna keep a nice slow pace. Keep going, I've got this. I just keep telling myself, yeah, this is tough, but I'm 10 times tougher. And I've done this so many times before, so it's just a matter of mind over matter, basically. Positive mental attitude. Everything I'm saying up here is going to be transmitted down here, so I just need to keep this positive. Right guys, so we've just come up to the 20k mark. Again, legs are still feeling tired, but literally got 4 kilometers to go. Right guys, we've just hit 23 kilometers, which means we are literally on the last kilometer. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm gonna run 24k. Right, done. Oh my god, just like that, 24 kilometers done. Oh my god, average pace 5 minutes 53, which was speedier than I thought. Total time 2 hours 21 minutes of pure running. Oh, right, I'm gonna stretch and then I'll catch up with you guys inside. Oh my goodness, guys, what the hell? I can't believe I've just run 24 kilometers. Like what? Like I still feel like I need to stretch. Oh my god, my legs. I am in a little bit of a rush. I have literally an appointment in town which I have to walk to in 25 minutes. So in 25 minutes I have to shower and walk to an appointment. I might get one of those like e-scooters that they have left parked around Manchester and just scooter my way there because I don't know if my legs are gonna work. Oh my god, I can't believe I did that. I know like halfway through
at that 16 km mark, like there is just always going to be those huge dips on those long runs where you just think, oh my goodness, I'm tired. Like that was all I could think in my brain was, I am tired. But I pushed through, I had my energy gels, I literally was just singing along to some songs. But I'm just so proud of that, and I'm so proud of that pace as well. Like I said, I didn't really care about my pace, it was just more about getting the distance done and how I feel afterwards. And honestly, I feel really good. Like obviously my legs and my feet are currently in a bit of a state of shock and confused as to why they've just run 24 kilometers, and I think my body has just caught on to the fact that we are training for another marathon, which is, like I said, absolutely crazy. Like I finished Paris and I thought, I'm not gonna do that for a while. I fell out of love with running and I was like, definitely not gonna be doing any long distance runs. And here we are at the start of round 2 of marathon training within the same year. Am I okay? This feeling, like finishing that run and the sense of accomplishment that running gives me is just the best thing ever. And when I was running then, like I feel emotional now. Like when I was running then, I was just like, what would I do without running? Like, and that sounds really silly, but running has just given me like so much drive, so much motivation, so much sense of achievement. Like it's something that I can look back on and be like, I'm really proud of myself. And it's really hard to say that day to day through like work or anything else, because I don't know, it just is, isn't it? Like it's hard to be proud of yourself, but like I can finish that run and be like, I am so proud of that. Like I'm so proud of myself, and it's really nice to have those moments. And I'm being really dorky and really soppy, but this is literally just like the runner's high. But yeah, I'm gonna sign the video off here because like I said, I am in a little bit of a rush and need to sort this out before I go to this appointment. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and definitely don't forget to subscribe if you're looking forward to more marathon content, because it is coming in thick and fast, and I'll see you guys next week.